What's up, everybody? Now, normally I would say I hope everyone had a good year, but let's be real. This year has been shit for a lot of people. Movies been delayed. A lot of my films that I was looking forward to were pushed into next year. And a lot of these films on this list are on here by default. You guys don't understand. Making this list was a pain in the ass because I had to comb through every film I saw this year. Now, granted, I haven't seen every film oddly enough. And this is not a review of these films. You can find those reviews on my channel. I'm going to talk about how I feel about the film and move on. So here it is. This is my top 10 best films, in my opinion. Coming in at number 10 is Bad Boys for Life. This film was entertaining to me. The chemistry, once again, by Martin Lawrence and Will Smith was solid. The acting was done real well. The plot was decent, at least. And if you would have asked me this film would have been on my top 10 list at the beginning of the year, I would have thought you was crazy. But hell, what can you do when so many films been delayed? Nonetheless, I had a very entertaining time with this movie. At number 9 is the film Onward. This film was very enjoyable for me. Two brothers trying to see their father, and they had to go on a quest to retrieve a stone that can make their father whole again. It is a very enjoyable film. Adults will love it, so will kids. Film for the entire family. And the voice acting was simply done real well. This is certainly a film I had fun with. At the number 8 spot is Sonic Hedgehog. This movie was fun. It was very enjoyable. Jim Carrey was just simply hilarious in this film. And Sonic himself was a absolute delight. Who would have thought that one of the most known video game characters in history would turn out a very entertaining film? I enjoyed this film, the plot, the acting, the characters. It's everything you would want for in a Sonic film. Coming in at the number 7 spot is Wonder Woman 1984. What's funny is I just recently saw this film, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to process it. But there's a lot of things I enjoyed about this film. The acting of Chris Pine, Gal Gadot, and Pedro Pascal really sold the film for me. In an age where superhero films come out regularly every year, we had little to none released this year at all. So this film managed to stand out to me in a big way. And the number 6 spot is The Gentleman. This film right here made me want to watch more Guy Ritchie movies. The acting from Matthew McConaughey, Charlie Hunnam, Jeremy Strong, and a few others. It was solid. The plot was done real well. And it's all about a guy who wants to retire. He just wants to settle down. I bet a lot of people could relate to that. Now, basically, this film is very enjoyable. It's funny. I thought this movie would end up being bad considering it came out in January, but it turned out to be one of the best films of the year. Coming in at the number 5 spot is another film I didn't thought it would be that good, The Invisible Man. Yeah, this film was real entertaining. It's about a woman basically about getting away from her ex. And, she can't see him, so a lot of crazy shit goes down in this film. I was entertained. I was thrilled. I was saying, oh man, I hope she survives all this shit that's happening. And this woman went through a lot of shit. If I do have to say so, that the directing was done real well, and the special effects are just awesome. This is certainly a film I still enjoy, and it is number 5 on my list. Coming in number 4 is Soul, another movie that I saw just recently. This film is heartwarming. It teaches the philosophies in this film, and adults and children love this movie, but adults will get this film more. Nonetheless, though, I think if you could put certain philosophies in animation, then I could end up being a sucker for it, and that's why this movie is probably one of the best Pixar's ever done. Oh, I love this film. At number 3 is the film Tenet. When you have one of the best movie directors out there, Christopher Nolan, amazing acting from John David Washington and Robert Pattinson, and a sci-fi element, you're going to have one of the best films of the year. I love this movie. The action scenes remind me a lot of Inception. This film is like Inception times 10. Everything that goes down in this movie is just awesome to see. What else can I say? This is a movie I'm glad wasn't delayed into next year. And it really reminds me why Christopher Nolan is one of the best directors out there. Coming in number two is the film 1917. Yeah, I know this is technically a 2019 film, but I saw this movie for the first time this year, so it counts. So the whole concept of two men trying to get a message across to one of their comrades, and they have to avoid enemy territory, it just screams why this film is one of the best movies I've seen. And not just that though, the amazing actor and the soundtrack, the World War One setting, really does it for me. I think war movies like on a higher level of storytelling because you could do so much with it. And at the number one spot is the film Parasite. Yeah, another 2019 film, but I saw it for the first time this year, so to me, it still counts. Hey, probably family trying to scheme their way into a rich family kind of makes sense considering how they want to improve their life. I love this film. Everything from the story, from the acting, to the general insanity at the end of this film. It really stood out. Not just that though, I think what this film shows is social class, poverty, all the things presented throughout it. When you can make a movie like that, then you certainly have my attention. And it's not just that though, but this family, they weren't trying to do this for horrible purposes. They just want to better their lives. It was for the wrong reasons, trying to, well, they actually did scam their way into his family's life. But I still felt like, as far as storytelling goes, this was the best film I saw in 2020. And that's saying something, considering I had to use a film that technically came out last year. But to me, it still counts. And that's my top 10 best movies of 2020. You know what's funny? I had to technically use two films that came out last year. But nonetheless, though, that's been 2020. What else can you expect when you had films being delayed? I felt like in alternate 2020, this list would have been a lot different for what it turned out to be. As my grandma always say, you gotta make lemons out into lemonade, so that's what I try to do here. Alright, let me know in the comments what is your top 10 best films of 2020. Up next is the horror, the abominations. My top 10 worst films of 2020 is coming up next, and let me tell you, there has been a lot of shady films. Alright, this is Slum Guy 172 saying, peace out.